The winter is over. It's time for Formula 1 2025. Yes, that long break that you've all been coping with so well can now be put to the back of your minds. It's on-track action and it's off-track drama. That's what we're looking forward to. We're a stone's throw from the enormous Port Phillip Bay for today's race at the 3.28-mile Albert Park circuit. It's a bumpy racing surface here, and the 14 corners could prove especially difficult in the wet conditions. So watch out for a safety car at some point during this Grand Prix. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Hamilton, Piastri, Lando Norris, and Tsunoda, Russell, Sainz, Crawford, and Esteban Ocon, Behrman, Button, Pierre Gasly, and Antonelli, Fernando Alonso, Hadjar, Lance Stroll, and Alex Albon, Doohan, Hulkenberg, Bortoletto, and Liam Lawson rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And alongside me in the commentary box today, former racing driver herself, Naomi Schiff. New season, new dawn, and now 22 cars and 11 teams on the grid.
First of all, this is such an exciting time. I mean, to have an 11th team on the grid is exciting news for the sport. But for them today, I guess you would be really nervous. It's the first time you're going to be doing this. There is so much to learn. But at the end of the day, they've got to remember that expectations aren't that high. They've all been there before. They've all had their first race, and no one is expecting them to land on the top of the podium. So just learn to walk before you can run.
Here we go then, the formation lap is underway. These are wet conditions here today. Each driver will no doubt be mindful of the wet surface as they prepare to race around the track. So as all the cars take their positions on the grid, the teams will be hoping their strategies pay off for them in today's race. But the question I'm asking is which teams have got it right, which one got it horribly wrong?
It's now start of the Formula 1 season, and it's lights out, and away we go. Here we go down the front stretch. Max Verstappen leads as, Jack Crawford goes in the grass. He's going to overtake two. He's going to overtake the Mercedes and push. Max takes the lead. Right behind him is Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton. Jake Crawford, he makes the move on Oscar and Lando. We got some broken wing there. It looks like Oscar ran into Lando. We had some front wing damage, but Jake Crawford now up to 4th place. Let's take a look at how he's trekking here. What a move by Jake Crawford. As we ride along on the new team and a new operation here, the Dodge Marauders Formula 1 team. A little testament right here by Oscar to try to go on the inside of Jake Crawford, but he slams the door shut as he moves on into the final couple of turns. Right behind Oscar is Lando Norris. Let's take a look at where we're sitting right now. Max Verstappen is in the lead and really about to run off with it at this point. Yeah, he's got about a 1 second lead, so he's at a DRS range at this point. with Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton right behind him. Jake Crawford is now drifting back even farther. That move that he pulled on Oscar at this point has now put him in a position where he is at a DRS range of Lewis Hamilton. So he is going to lead that DRS train right behind them. We're going to look at the start from Jack Crawford again. The lights out and away we go. Jack Crawford got superior grip compared to the cars around him. And as you can see, he's going to dive down to the outside here, make a little contact with George Russell, skid on the brakes hard, and then really push here to try to get past. What a move. What a move. Gets 3 positions in the first corner, and he's going to send it right here. Oh, my goodness. Makes a little contact, does make the corner, had the apex. It looks like the cars behind him crash into each other. But what a move by Jake Crawford. We're going into lap 2 here with Max. He's just, at this point, I think in the rain in Australia, that Red Bull is just going to power through and literally go to the end of the race with no contest from anybody else. Behind him, we got Charles Leclerc. Nice little gap. He's about even a second off from now Lewis Hamilton. So at this point, Lewis is going to be out of DRS range. With no DRS right now with the rain and the current state that it's in, I think this could just be smooth sailing for these top 3 drivers with Lewis right behind Charles at this point. The real battle right here is Jack Crawford against Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris. Behind him is George Russell. I think at this point, he's just going to have to go defend the rest of the race. We're really surprised with the performance that we're seeing out of this new team, especially with the drive off the first corner. What a move by Jack. I know in qualifying they set this thing up for being dry today with high downforce to try to compete in qualifying, to try to get up to the front. And they've really shown it that at this point now they got up to the front, but now can they hold on to it? As you can see, he's just getting his elbows wide in every turn at this point to try to stay in front of the McLarens, which are just itching at the bit. Once they get that clean air in front of them, because there's enough clean air in between Lewis Hamilton and Jake, if they get that clean air, they're gone. And I think at that point they can really try to start fighting for podiums for both of them, because we know those McLarens are super duper fast at this point. Again, getting his elbows out wide to hold that position. It's just a matter of time before that McLaren without DRS gets in front of him. I think they had DRS at this point, he would be a sitting duck, but he's really just checking his mirrors throughout the whole drive here. We're going to go down the field a little bit and see if we can find Jenson Button and where he is located. Jenson Button is now, let's see, he is in 13th place. I would like to see Jenson push a little bit harder to try to see if he can get up front here with the rest and try to score some points with Jack Crawford. But as you can see right now, Jack Crawford is 4 seconds. 4 seconds. That gap is widening even further between him and a podium race. And a potential podium. Check out the leader up front. Max Verstappen literally pulling away at this point. I don't think it's going to be any contest, especially on this street circuit, with him to pull this out. In the wet weather, as well as having that clean air, that Red Bull is really going to be no contest. It's just going to be a smooth drive for him. Shout out to the inside wing that have the Red Bull cans. That's really clever on their part. I haven't seen that before in recent seasons. I think that's very clever to have the Red Bull cans on the inner wing. But I don't know how much passing we're going to see here. With what's going on, I don't really think we're going to see too much at this point with the current conditions, but we're going to follow along with Jack Crawford even more to see how he can edge this out and hopefully get a top 4, even top 5. Oh, Oscar Piastri looking to the outside, but Jack shuts the door. Jack, a rookie this year, really showing what his performance can do with the car, with a brand new team that doesn't have much data on. Oh, Lando looks like he's going to pass Oscar. Oh, going into this turn, it's going to be close. Both the McLarens fighting each other. We can see if Papaya rules are not in play here. Both of them racing. They're trying to see if now Lando can get in front of Jake Crawford and try to push a little bit. Oh, it seems like we have a yellow flag. We have a yellow flag. It looks like Oscar Piastri is having some trouble. He looks like he blew an engine at this point. Oh, he almost got a wreck with Esteban Ocon. He is slowly fading away. It looks like the rest of the field is slowing down now to let him get past. There is a yellow flag. Everyone, oh my gosh, Liam Lawson. Liam Lawson. Wow. Really? We're going to have to take a look at that later and see if the FIA is going to see if he let up at all. But it looks like Oscar Piastri is out of the race. He is out of the race. I repeat, he is out of the race at this point. Jack Crawford's goes out. It looks like it's a virtual safety car at this point. Virtual safety car. Now it's a full safety car. Now it's a full safety car, so it's going to scrunch the pack up really well here. All right, it looks like the safety car's in this lap. And we're going to go back racing here. Jack Crawford in 4th place, trying to compete for a podium here. Oscar Piastri out of the race. Lando Norris in 5th place, and as well as Max Verstappen leading. Let's see what Jack can do here. Jack Crawford making a run. Jack Crawford going to the inside of Lewis Hamilton. He might have play here. He might have play. He may go to the inside of Lewis Hamilton. Oh, what a... Oh, he backed off. He backed off. Wow, what a move. What a move. Looks like he may be having some trouble here. Jack Crawford, it looks like he may get passed by Lando Norris. No. It looks like he does not have... It looks like he has his recharge on. That's right. He pushed Lewis Hamilton so far, but it looks like he couldn't make the pass because he didn't have his ERS on. That's right. He's recharging the battery. His ERS is not on at this point. It's still not on at this point. He's still recharging the battery, which is going to give Lando Norris an opportunity to pass him going into this turn. Oh my gosh, for the rookie here, when is he going to figure out that he needs to turn it on? Someone from the pit wall needs to message out to him to let him know that he needs to turn his battery on. Oh, he's really fading away. Lando Norris is going to really push it right here. He gets his elbows out, which is going to open the door for George Russell to pass Lando Norris. Oh, wow. He still has recharge on at this point. Oh, what a move by Jack Crawford to try to pass Lewis Hamilton on that lap. It was eerily similar to Max Verstappen a couple of years ago, who did the same thing and actually competed to pass on Lewis Hamilton. As we can see, Max Verstappen is just gone at this point. The track, as you can see, is drying up a little bit. The racing line's coming ever more prevalent, which means there's ever more grip. And with that clean air, he's just going to be gone with no ERS in play here. I think at this point, Max Verstappen is just going to run away with it. And Jack Crawford without his ERS on, looks like Lando Norris is going to try to push it to the outside here. Oh, they bump wheels. It looks like it's Jack Crawford's corner going into the turn. Wow, Lando had to bail out of that. And again, with the Marauders, with this high downforce, or essentially low downforce that they had set up for qualifying, the conditions there were really dry. And with that opening lap, whoa, Jack Crawford goes wide there. With this setup, they wanted to qualify high and see if they could just compete and hold their position with the rain and no DRS. Jack Crawford just really getting his elbows out here with Lando Norris. Let's go back to Jenson Button. Jenson Button, same with the same setup, is having a hard time. It looks like he's going to end up finishing P11 in this. Unless something drastic happens, he's going to finish outside the points, which It's perfectly fine. This first drive, we're going to talk about Jensen Button here for a little bit. Coming out of retirement to try to lead this team with his performance, with his experience as a champion in Formula One, to give them insights on what they need to do to build beyond this year and to the future. Jack Crawford was the rookie that they courted because they wanted someone that was an American. They wanted someone that could identify with the U.S. brand, and Jack Crawford was that guy. Let's go back to Jack and see how he's doing against Lando Norris. He's really backing him up at this point. You gotta believe with such low downforce in the car that those tires are just eating up at this point, and it's really only a matter of time before the McLaren sees an opportunity with no DRS to really push and pass Jack Crawford. But to go back to Jensen Button at this point, they really wanted someone to bring in to this operation to help Jack Crawford. Again, Jack Crawford from the United States really wanted to lead this American brand that has all type of partners, whether it's Dodge, a huge performance and car manufacturer in the US, Coca-Cola, an iconic American and global brand at this point, IBM, Coppertail Brewing Company, Apple. They are really just trying to be that brand that America can get behind it. As you can see, Jack Crawford is just trying to do his best and have a phenomenal job at this point. Let's ride along with him for a little bit. You can see, he can still see Lewis Hamilton in the distance, as well as Charles Leclerc. You can see that he's really just trying to find grip at this point. Looks like Lando Norris is going to try to make... Oh, he backed off. It's really tough in these wet conditions to try to pass, especially when the grip is so low. Oh, there's yellow flags. There's yellow flags. I repeat, yellow flags. There's a virtual safety. There's a virtual safety car. They need to all in. Whoa, Lando Norris with the pass under the virtual safety car. Jack Crawford actually let off the accelerator to yield to the virtual safety car, but Lando Norris did not. You see Jack Crawford trying to get a position back into the virtual safety car, but the pit wall is telling him to hold position. They're telling him to hold position. Lando Norris passed under the virtual safety car after Jake Crawford lifted. There surely could be a position where Lando Norris gets penalized. You can see Jack Crawford's really on the bumper here. Lando Norris furious over giving up the 4th position to Lando Norris. The FIA is going to have to investigate if Lando Norris lifted, which we know in the past he's had trouble with this. Qatar last year, he didn't do it. He got a drive-through penalty, which took him out of the race, and it gave Max Verstappen a win in Qatar. This is something that they're going to have to look at this point. It looks like Liam Lawson DNFs. I wonder if the FIA investigated that Liam Lawson didn't lift under the virtual safety car, so essentially they packed it up, because then at that point you would have a drive-through penalty. Yeah, that drive-through penalty, that's literally 22 seconds and literally takes you out of the race. You cannot make up 22 seconds with no pit stops in the future in these raining conditions with no DRS activated. All right, we're back racing. The virtual safety car has ended. It looks like Lando Norris is essentially going to run away with this now that he has that clean air and not being backed up by Jack Crawford. Jack Crawford's got to be furious at this point. Has got to be furious at this point. Jensen Button out, fighting Kimi Antonelli. Let's ride along with Jensen. I really do believe at this point that the FIA is going to have to take a look at Lando Norris and see if he didn't lift off with the yellow flags that turned into a virtual safety car and pitting under the, or essentially taking over that position, which is wow. FIA is going to have a hard time explaining themselves. Literally going to have a hard time explaining themselves to the field and to the new team. I don't know if we know that the media can be biased to these English drivers, but that's just incredible. Max Verstappen running away with it. Looks like Lando Norris in that clean air has now caught Lewis Hamilton. We're going to see if he can put the ERS on and really deplete that battery to try to pass Lewis Hamilton. It looks like he's going to go for it. With no DRS, he's going to go to the outside. What a move by Lando Norris. It looks like he's going to complete it on Lewis Hamilton on the outside. What a move. That is for podium. Lando Norris passing Jack Crawford. It took him literally half of the race, and on lap 17, he's now past Lewis Hamilton to try to compete with trying to chase down Charles Leclerc and complete this podium run. He's got a long way to go. About 3 seconds ahead is Charles Leclerc. We know that Max Verstappen has he's opened up to an 8-second lead. There is no contest. He's going to ride away with this at this point. We're going to have one more lap into this. Looks like George Russell is depleting all this battery to try to catch up to the back of Jack Crawford. We know Jack Crawford has been harvesting his battery for the last lap to try to make sure during this long run here with such high degradation on the tires and low downforce of that car, he knows he's going to need to save some battery because everyone's going to pull up to him in the corner. So he's going to have to deplete all of that battery down this long stretch as we see here. Let's see what happens with Jack Crawford and George Russell. It's like George is making moves to the outside. He's trying to deplete all that battery, but we know Jack Crawford has a full battery that he's depleting at this point right now. George is going to try to make a move here. He's going to have to make a move here, which he's not going to be able to. Jack Crawford closes the door. You can sit down and pulls up on George Russell. There's one more run here to see if either of these cars have it in them to try to pass Jack Crawford. It looks like George Russell's going to have to block Yuki Tsunoda, so he's not going to be able to challenge Jack Crawford. Jack Crawford goes to the last couple of corners. He slams the door. It looks like he's going to have 5th place. He's going to have 5th place to score his first points in Formula One. What a drive from lap 1. Wow, what a lap. What a lap. What a lap. What a ride. Great job from Jack Crawford to finish in 5th place to score his first points. Phenomenal at this point.